One of the worst things that can happen to a parent is getting that call or getting that knock on the door that their child is in trouble with the law. And how did it get there? How did it get to that situation? Well, if we want to speak scientifically, there is the frontal cortex, the frontal part of your brain. If I weren't holding my iPad, look at see my forehead? That's where it is. That's where the part of my brain that holds the consciousness that understands what is right and wrong. When we play football, CTE, cranial something, let me know in the comment section. You basically are hurting the frontal part of your brain, and it gets to the point where we end up with O.J. Simpsons, people that have gone through the court system with several strong allegations against them, whether it's murder, whether it's rape, or whatever. And you look at different players, you look at boxers, you look at people, and you look at the science and the brain injury that has happened to these individuals and the various elements that they have gotten involved in. Now we look at the culture of America, and I love my family. I love various people, and that's one of the reasons why I was inspired to make this video, because I start to see the patterns. I start to see the elements within our community where, we cheer for football and we get excited, and, we have the halftime show and the Super Bowl and all these things. But we forget that in that process, 95% of these players are getting brain injury. Now, these are adults where their brains are most likely fully formed, but talk about children, talk about teenagers, talk about that kind of situation. And when we inspire that propaganda on our children, and when our children involve themselves in these kind of activities that damage the frontal part of their brain, we can't look back and say, or we can look back and say, this is why. This is why I'm getting that call. This is why people are knocking on my door. Because if I'm able to look back in time, I'm able to see how I, through the enchantment of football, have helped damage my own child. Now, it's a difficult thing to understand. I completely hear you. We are rallied towards football as a community, as a world, but we seriously need to look at it. We need to seriously involve elements like robotics, not just the helmets, teaching the kids to code and create robots that will play these games for them so that way they don't damage the brain. At the same time, helping to evolve and inspire the brain. I think that the NFL should really get behind that, utilizing robotics instead of, you know, and perhaps making a child football league where no children are playing, but rather their robots are playing, because children are now becoming a lot more brilliant, and allowing the NFL to create a partnership with companies like Lego or other, or even what is that, the guy Elon Musk, in order to help children to create a whole franchise where robots are playing football. Now, what do you think about that? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, what can you do? What you can do is have the conversation with your child. You can sit down and talk to them honestly and say, I was wrong. I'm sorry. I did the research. I sat down. I Googled the information. I saw the Will Smith movie, Concussion, and I was moved to tears to understand of what I was doing to you with my fandom over this particular sport. But together, as Americans, we're going to bind together and we're going to find an answer that is not only just going to stop the damage of the brain, but help us evolve into a better community. What do you think, NFL? What do you think, America? What do you think? Are you excited? I'm excited. I'm excited about addressing our issues through the transformation of light and moving them into something wonderful where everybody can make even more money. And then we can encompass and grow the brain and move into planets and travel out of space and meet other communities. What do you think? Are you down? I'm down. Let's transform football into something healthy for our children, for our future, for the sake of our humanity. I want to wish you all a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful eternity.